Good day, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. So in this video, I wanted to have a very brief discussion about the TSA, the Transportation Safety Administration's, the U.S. Air Marshals Quiet Skies program. Now I'm going to read to you a letter, a memorandum of understanding from the TSA about the Quiet Skies program. Now, the reason the Quiet Skies program has come under scrutiny recently was just a few days ago. It was revealed that Tulsi Gabbard, former U.S. presidential candidate for the Democrats, who changed from being a Democrat to, I believe she's either an independent or Republican now. She now supports Donald Trump. She was and is a reserve U.S. military officer, and she was placed on the Quiet Skies program. Now, let me read you, again, this is directly from the Transportation Safety Administration. This is their information. Here we go. You've likely heard or read about the Quiet Skies program recently. Media reports have inaccurately described it as a program through which federal air marshals surveil random travelers for no rhyme or reason. In fact, it's an important program, and we'd like to give you a better understanding of it. Now remember, what I'm about to read to you is a U.S. military officer, a former presidential candidate, and a former sitting member of Congress was placed on this program with absolutely no criminal history. Here we go. If your local police department had intelligence that your neighborhood was at an elevated threat for dangerous activity, you'd want an increased police presence until the threat was gone. Federal air marshals serve in that same capacity in the aviation environment. They are law enforcement officers who use their experience and training to identify things that are out of the ordinary in the aviation environment. Over the years, federal air marshals have used their skills and training to successfully respond to in-flight emergencies and non-terrorist incidents. Their onboard presence has defused dozens of situations that have had the potential to escalate, placing the aircraft crew and passengers in further danger. Quiet Skies, again, Tulsi Gabbard was placed on this list. Quiet Skies is another tool that allows the Federal Air Marshal Service to more effectively deploy law enforcement resources to focus on travelers who may present an elevated risk to aviation security. Through the TSA Secure Flight Program and by leveraging Custom and Border Protection automated targeting systems, TSA intelligence professionals develop a set of risk-based, intelligence-driven scenario rules which allow us to identify international travelers who may require enhanced screening. Tulsi Gabbard. These rules have strict oversight by the Department of Homeland Security, including the Privacy, Civil Rights, and Liberties and General Counsel offices. TSA uses this program to reduce the risk on airplanes by identifying passengers, Tulsi Gabbard, deemed to be higher risk according to certain travel patterns and other intelligence-based factors. Contrary to some reporting, the program does not take into account race or religion and does not designate individuals based on their observed behaviors on board an aircraft. As trained law enforcement officers, federal air marshals observe passengers in accordance with their training. When FAMs are informed that a traveler identified through the intelligence-driven scenario rules will be on a particular flight or in their airport, they're able to observe the traveler in the airport and on their flight. Tulsi Gabbard. Passengers referred to the program may require additional scrutiny for certain periods of time. However, TSA routinely removes passengers from the program sooner than the prescribed period if we become aware of information that indicates the passengers do not represent a risk. Something to keep in mind is that the Federal Air Marshal Service is the only federal law enforcement agency dedicated solely to protecting the nation's aviation system. Since President Kennedy initiated the concept of having armed air marshals, the goal has always been to protect travelers and ensure that the flight arrives to its destination safely. Let's take a moment to recognize that the Air Marshals have a difficult and important job. They must remain vigilant at all times, watching over Tulsi Gabbard, and operate at 30,000 feet in tight quarters. Air Marshals receive specialized training in a variety of law enforcement techniques, including blending in with other aviation travelers and identifying when something is out of the ordinary, such as Tulsi Gabbard on an airline flight. They are prepared to react to a wide spectrum of criminal and terrorist events and activities, to include Tulsi Gabbards on your airplane. FAMs have and will continue to use a variety of tools and work with industry partners to detect, deter, and defeat any potential threat to the aircraft, crew, and passengers. They play an important role in protecting travelers in midair and are essential to our national security. Bob Burns, TSA, social media. That's right from TSA. So the question is, why did they place Tulsi Gabbard on this list? Have a good day.